First at 5, a Sandy Hook father found dead.
Goes without saying, it's very traumatic. Something like this brings that event back to the forefront again.
A man who lost his daughter in the Sandy Hook massacre 6 years ago has taken his own life. And now a town already touched by tragedy is living through that pain once again. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Dennis House.
And I'm Denise DeCenzo. Police tell us they found the body of Jeremy Richmond inside the town hall. And that's where we find Channel 3's Matt McFarland live right now in Newtown. Matt?
Well, Denise and Dennis, this is a community that's already been through so much, and now they're dealing with another tragedy. The sign outside Newtown's Edmond Town Hall lets visitors know it's closed for the day, as Newtown's close-knit community struggles to deal with the suicide of Sandy Hook parent Jeremy Richmond.
I think it just goes to exemplify and show, what families are suffering on a day-to-day basis as a result of the shooting.
In fact, just last week, Richmond was down in Florida speaking at a summit on violence.
We're going to be talking about the science of violence and compassion.
But Newtown police tell us around 7 this morning, officers found his body inside Edmond Town Hall, a community center where the Avielle Foundation has an office. Following the death of their 6-year-old daughter Avielle at Sandy Hook, Richmond and his wife started the Avielle Foundation with a mission for preventing violence and building compassion through neuroscience research, community engagement, and education. Quote, "Our hearts are shattered and our heads are struggling to comprehend. Tragically, his death speaks to how insidious and formidable a challenge brain health can be, and how critical it is for all of us to seek help for ourselves, our loved ones, and anyone who we suspect may be in need."
As a community as a whole, we're shocked.
Newtown's first selectman tells Eyewitness News there are no words to describe today's tragic loss, adding, "I don't want to speculate as to why Jeremy took his life, except to say none of us can fathom the enormity of loss he carried with him after the death of his beautiful daughter Avielle. Please keep Jeremy's family in your hearts and pray that they find some measure of peace that he is now with Avielle." Richmond's death comes less than a week after 2 survivors of last year's school shooting in Parkland, Florida, took their own lives.
Mental health professionals that have been talking to us over the course of the last 6 years have talked about, the after effects are not just the immediate after effects of that traumatic event. You're going to see some of these mental health issues occur over and over again as time progresses.
Now, coming up tonight at 6, we hear from a psychologist who says when you experience some sort of trauma like Sandy Hook, like Parkland, it affects victims differently, but he says it stays with those victims for a very, very long time. We're going to have that part of the story coming up tonight live at 6. We're live with the mobile newsroom in Newtown. Matt McFarland, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Matt. Now, Senator Chris Murphy, a close friend of Jeremy Richmond, says Richmond worked tirelessly as an advocate for mental health awareness.
The idea that Jeremy took his own life, wasn't able to get the help that he was trying to get for so many other people is just really impossible for all of us to figure out.
Senator Murphy says Richmond had just visited his office a few weeks ago to discuss the progress his foundation was making on mental health.